Hey, what's up guys? It's Oakley, and this is going to be one more time Napoleon Total War. I'm playing as the French again. I'm really liking this build that I have with 5 National Guard and 3 Old Guard, and then also 2 Chasseurs à Cheval. So these guys are actually out here already doing some scouting, and I'm taking some unnecessary fire from his citizen Schoten. I didn't know that their range was that extreme, and I thought the hill was blocking, so I was contemplating just charging into here, but I've learned from just a number of mistakes in the past that it's probably not best to sacrifice your cavalry early on, so I was thinking actually just getting some volleys on, but these guys are pretty much reformed. They would have killed my guys, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them into these woods. Over on this position here, he's also got some more of his fusiliers up front, so no need for me to lose guys. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull them back. Oh, actually I was more ballsy than I remembered. There we go, actually. Gonna get some initial shots off at his men. Killing just 2 guys, so in my eyes it's kind of worth it. So I got some shots off and just pulled back. So I lost 2 men, he lost 2 men. I'm moving up with some more chasseurs, desperately trying to get these guys in the fight as quickly as possible. I knew I had to hold this position, and the rest of my French forces are forming up here. He's got the range advantage, so I have to do something to counter that. So what I'm going to decide to do is claim these woods as my own. He can get shots off all he wants right there. Actually, he's going to start putting down stakes here, so that's a good move against future cavalry charges. But I'm going to deploy my skirmishers up here and then start deploying in a big ring up on that side. I'm making sure I secure this position, and then I'm going to hold up the front with my own chasseur. At this point, he can destroy me with his Schoten, so these guys are going to have to pull back eventually, but I have the woods here, I have the woods here, and I have this building, so it's a strong position. That's why I moved up so aggressively. This flank here, again, talking about the beaten zone where potentially you could shoot or have shots fired at you, and the shots that miss are going to hit the ground probably here, so make sure you deploy your guys well out of that range. What's happening over here is I have a French ally who's moving up his 3 Old Guard as well, moving them up pretty slowly. On all fronts he's moving up very slowly, so he's kind of losing the initiative, which is too bad considering this map has a lot of choke points that you definitely want to capture and buildings you want to capture. So mostly Great Britain on this flank here is going to be pushing up, seizing this entire territory. So what I decided to do is with my Old Guard, who, yeah, they weren't doing much, so I decided I was going to help hold down this city, not allow Great Britain to take all of it. So I'm going to position them there. And then I also have some more National Guard, who you'll see helping out in the near future. I went ahead and charged through with my Chasseurs à Cheval because he had put up too much fire on me. And that's going to open up the possibility for me to reinforce, get some Fusilier up on the hill, and get some National Guard up point blank to kill his guys. Now he does have more men to fall back on, so that's going to be a problem for me, but I'm keeping him from taking this hill, so overall I am happy with this, and I move up some more cavalry to get some shots off at his men who are retreating. National Guard are going to deploy and get off their volleys, so I like the concavity of this place. It's a nice bowl, it allows me to get forces on all sides. And some of my own guys are getting hit by my shots, but at least the presence of these National Guard units and overwhelming force wasn't enough to push him back. I realize he's trying to hold here with foot guards, so I'm going to put my guys on this hill right here. Perfect position to get some shots off. But I've gone ahead and claimed this territory. And I'm getting shots off with these National Guard to hold the line, force them back, and some more Fusilier and cavalry to get my my double lines of fire up there. Chasseurs right here are going to witness a pretty big fight coming up here, so I get some first shots off and we retreat behind here so he can't get overwhelming force and fire on me. Problem is he may be sweeping up here trying to pincer my forces, so I have to remain vigilant for that possibility. He's going to replace his musketeers with foot guards. Okay move, although he should probably all out retreat this front. He's lost, and it's only a matter of time before these guys get destroyed. So I'm going to pull back my National Guard, no need risking them. I figured I'm going to let my Chasseurs just deal death from a distance. Fusilier right here are going to get a good shot on his foot guards. He's not facing the right way, so not all of them are going to be able to fire up at me, although at least half his regiment will. But the additional cavalry forces will be helping to turn the tide right here, I would say. There you go, my Chasseurs are continuing to fall back. He's going to be moving in with more of these guys, so I'm a little worried about him kind of stiff-arming this entire force and pushing his army through here, catching me unaware, so maybe that's why he's actually holding his forces here. Anyways, noticing what he's trying to pull off right here, these shenanigans, I'm going to go ahead and, I believe, move these forces back maybe I'm going to deploy one of these Fusilier. Anyways, one of these guys is going to come up here and reinforce. So I'm getting some shots off here. Looks like he's fixed the bayonet. He's itching to move forward. So I'm going to make these guys in a line. They're going to have to hold out for at least a minute or so, waiting for my guys to reinforce. So here's the view from the forest and what they see of the entire army charging forward. And here we go, moving back my chasseurs to help reinforce. His foot guards are actually doing a lot to chip away at my forces. And here we go, these Fusiliers are the one who are going to reinforce. Or on this flank, I've dissuaded Great Britain from moving too close over here just because old guard in a house are very hard to dislodge. And here we go. I'm actually deciding to charge forward with my cavalry, saber in hand, just to hold his forces back. And I'm going to go ahead and disengage from this fight and attack these forces. That's going to allow my units, the National Guard, I believe, to fill up this gap right here and make sure I get some shots off on his men there. I went ahead and pulled back on this position with my National Guard. Saw that he was trying to clear these the forest of men with his own Uhlans. So my chasseurs are going to continue to pull back here. They're going to fall back to this position. Old Guard are going to help kill the cavalry. Over on this front, my cavalry went ahead and pulled through to his Fusilier. So my cavalry are doing pretty well, paying for themselves, clearing up this positioning, and allowing me to just murder these guys point blank range. Let's go ahead and watch the cavalry who are trying to kill my men. Looks like they've decided that that was not the right move to do, and I would definitely agree with that thinking. Here we go, this is where I'm going to push up with my National Guard. You can see how he's turning all of his forces. He's presenting his side. That's the perfect opportunity to move up reinforcements. So Old Guard are going to be moving. I decided to pull them back, so I gave them movement order here. Don't want to put those guys in the line of fire just yet. I'm going to make sure the National Guard are the ones dealing with that. Anyways, his men are going to finally pop out a square pretty soon. So I'm exchanging my chasseurs with the more sturdy Fusilier of the line in case he decides to charge. Getting 2 of them to clean those guys up. Over in this position, he's focused on fighting my guys in the forest. A decent move considering he just routed them. But my Fusilier of the line can hold that down and continue to get shots off. My Old Guard are positioned here, and I'm going to tell my National Guard to take up positions in this farmhouse just to get more shots off here. My ally, the French, is getting kind of cleaned up, especially his Old Guard who were caught moving in column formation on the march. They're definitely getting their asses handed to them. But he's going to get actually a Polish Guard Lancer charge right through here. These are very, very, very expensive units, probably, I think, the top tier French Lancer Cav. So he kind of threw them away, charging into the square, although it looks like they're not phased by the square at all. So he's getting some good strikes, and he's going to return the favor, cleaning this up. Around in this position, it's kind of a standstill all along the front, and pretty evenly matched. However, he does have more guys who are ready to charge up through here. So we'll see how that goes. And as I said, I'm trying to lend a hand moving all my units into these positions right here to chip away at Great Britain. Over here, I'm kind of winning. Over on this flank, I'm getting position my guys up here in the woods to exchange fire with the skirmishers. National Guard are starting to eat it, so I'm moving up my Old Guard into position on the hill once more to get some more shots on him. I know I can turn the tide of battle here. And gonna start putting my National Guard in this position here and switch them out for the chasseurs who can help attack his cavalry. He decides that because I'm shifting my forces, that's gonna be the time to charge through here. I would say that's probably not a good move. He's better off just retreating them and attacking on a different front just because my Old Guard, they can more than deal with those guys right there. But as I said, cleaning up this flank, getting my Old Guard to put on some more shots on his units right there. I'm targeting those guys specifically. And right here, his cavalry, Lancers, Brandenburg Uhlans, they're all moving up through here in the line of fire of my Old Guard. So he's definitely paying the price for running the gauntlet through here. Not sure where he's trying to go. Probably try and attack the back, relieve the pressure on the front. His 8th Regiment right here, I'm not sure what the stats are on these guys. I'd imagine since they're a special DLC that they're going to be pretty good in melee. So here they go, coming in, but I do get some last volleys. Over on this flank, I've kind of destroyed his forces. He's reinforcing with some cavalry, some hussars, so he does still have the potential to turn the tide. And he's going to be charging against the chasseurs. So I do have some more National Guard here. And he actually landed a cavalry charge against my Fusilier of the line there. And over here. So he's doing a pretty good job for evening up the fight. This is where I'm going to pull in my reinforcements. Over on this flank, I actually kept my Old Guard here. And put my National Guard here. So I'm forcing a Great Britain to fall back whereas before he was kind of destroying the French. So I'm cutting into their advantage. Right here's cavalry are continuing to chase away my guys. The National Guard are going to stand and fire, destroy his Uhlans, and the rest of my guys are going to be forming up and hopefully be able to kill his foot guards. Over on this flank, he's still holding it together. I'm telling my old guard to move in through the woods and get some last shots at his Uhlans. He seems to have forgotten them. And along the front right here, I'm exchanging fire pretty well. His guys are doing well enough, but it's only a matter of time as this combat continues to progress. Picking away at his Uhlans, however, he's going to realize what's going on, and it's at this point that I sort of I change where I'm looking at. He's going to go ahead and recharge me as I'm not looking, so I don't form up into square, but the advantage actually of having my guys sort of at the end of the forest means his charge to the forest is going to be slowed down pretty significantly, allowing me to get some more shots off. So here come his Uhlans through the forest, but Old Guard with quick reload are going to be able to tank that pretty well. So this front is going to collapse soon enough. I already collapsed his forces here. I'm actually charging in with my general here, trying to scare his men off. I was thinking of doing a charge, but he redeployed his foot guards there, so definitely going to have to retreat this general before he gets a volley off. My general actually is able to hold out for a long time in this battle despite some very, very risky positioning. But yeah, my guy's point blank in the side. That's going to cause his units to shift, and it's that brief couple seconds that bought my general the amount of time to retreat. So that's going to be it for this flank. Great Britain on this side was actually, I took out my old guard, got some shots off against Great Britain, helped relieve the French force here, and I'm pulling back into the house because I was worried about these guys, the King's German Legion, getting some more shots off against me. So still old guard 160, 460 full health, and that's keeping these guys at bay. Along this front, France is pushing forward, however they're being destroyed by the light foot. Over here, the cavalry that were on this position charged down a hill, destroyed the French units here. If I were him, I probably would have gone up through here. Looks like he has some guard chasseurs à cheval. I have not seen these guys. He must have the DLC. That's pretty cool. But they're going to be coming in, and Great Britain has retreated, and he has a square that he can form up here, so I'm guessing he'll go ahead and destroy the chasseurs à cheval. Too bad, but France still has a couple more guys here, especially some old guards, so that'll help turn the tide. It's in the center where we're going to have a more contentious fight. My National Guard are a little worried that they're being outflanked, but at least I have my old guard still not losing many men and still doing a lot of damage. Right here, cleaned up his forces here. He's left his general staff, so I'm going to be picking away at them. Over on this front, we'll go ahead and check up on my old guard. So they only lost 6 men despite being charged in the woods, so they killed those cavalry. And now his forces are going to be an all-out retreat. I'm going to tell probably my most weakened guys, so National Guard, and I believe these National Guard are going to go ahead and chase those. The rest of my men are going to be forming up through here. I'm going to decide to push through here and attack Great Britain, who's still alive, still kicking. However, some of these units, I'm not quite sure where those guys came from, but he was able to sneak them around and charge through the backs of my men. So I actually don't have anything that can really deal with this right now. So he's continuing to chase through my guys, trying to reform these fusiliers, but they're out of ammo as well, so I actually have to go into charge with the bayonet on them. So I'm going to redeploy hopefully some of the guys from the hill to help clean that up. And still more of his guys. His hussars are chasing away my general, who's positioned in the forest here. And Great Britain has decided to call sort of my bluff right here and just attack me straight out. He's just going to go ahead and murder my National Guard in that position. But he doesn't dare attack the old guard right there. There we go. I was able to finish those units off. And my general is still alive despite being chased. He's going to go ahead and pull right through my square. And there he goes. There's my general running away to safety and forcing the pursuers to deal with my guys right here. So good job on my general. He's doing what he needs to do. And right here, some of these Schutzen are going to decide to reform, and my own National Guard are going to have none of it. You can see, though, they're at 160. His guys are at 51. And despite what you might think, he's actually going to put up a pretty good fight right here, especially with the reinforcements he's going to be pulling up. And that's kind of it. I decided these guys would be enough to deal with it, although they won't be, as you'll see soon. So I'm going to have to peel off some more men. But here's the charge. So those guys are still pretty green. 42, 39, 38. But with the additional fire that he's pouring onto my guys, I'm actually going to start losing men pretty quickly. So you can see, once my guys have been isolated, their morale is actually dropping pretty quickly, and they've already lost 40 men in this fight with the additional volley, so I was worried about that, so I'm going to decide to redeploy some of these chasseurs. Anyways, I'm continuing to chase away his general, and Great Britain is going to see that. He's going to send in his King's German Legion, once again trying to pick off my my own general. I have some National Guard here. These guys cannot form into square, so at least they're going to be taking this wave. And my general, once again, in the thick of it, but he is not going to die. I'm trying to find where he is. If he's going to go ahead and decide to retreat before he loses too many men. So that general snipe was pretty good. He killed a lot of my National Guard. However, what I have back here is Old Guard, and my general is falling back to the loving embrace of his veterans. Meanwhile, back here, I'm going to try and regroup because I know these cavalry, yep, they're redirected to deal with my men, so I'm going to try and form up into a thicker formation. Over here, my pressure on these forces and my own presence has allowed the French to rally and push through this flank. The additional reinforcements of the Old Guard and various other troops are going to help crack this position. It looks like the I'm not able to track down where those Guard Chasseurs Cheval went, but I'm guessing they got killed. Although these Voltigeurs were able to crack this front, so it looks like we're going to be winning there. Great Britain is going to decide to retreat and pull back. His own cavalry strike through here is going to be killing my guys pretty significantly. If these men still had ammo, I would probably be able to have dealt with them. But these were my troops who were out of ammo, who were chasing down the enemy general. So I'm going to have to wait for my forces here to move in. And we can fast forward for a little while. It's going to be more of the redeployment. Great Britain is going to decide to fall back to this position back here and rally with the other Prussian forces. So finally, I get my Fusilier to break his King's German Legion, and National Guard are going to be deploying in this little valley here. And my general is still alive. Took another volley to the face, but he went ahead and retreated. So I'm being forced back. I don't have many of my skirmishers left, so I'm going to have to bide for time. Over on this flank, I was able to... Where'd my guys go? Okay, here they are. Kill his men with my National Guard and the reinforcements that I had. So they're going to go ahead and bottle this position up. They're charged with running into this lake in the near future, so keep Great Britain from retreating too far. Over here, these guys are out of ammo, so they're going to have to tank that damage. Here I charged up with my Old Guard because I was pretty sure I could deal with these men, especially since I have the flank attack with my Old Guard here. And then I'm going to go ahead and try and bait these guys with my chasseurs. So that's fine. They can take all the fire in the world. These guys still have ammo. These are some reinforcements. They're going to be drawing these guys into the fight, and that's going to allow my Old Guard to position themselves nicely on top of this hill. So if he moves too far forward, I'll have a face full of Old Guard. And my own Old Guard here are really, they're being total beasts. They're eating this entire foot guard's fire, and they're beating them. So 78 to 35 remaining, especially with the Old Guard position on the flank. That's going to crack those troops. And my French ally is now going to be moving forward, steamrolling the remainder of this force here. He's been doing cleanup operations, and then he's going to come in through this flank. So I was able to murder that force. My Old Guard up on the hill are going to be doing some shots. My own National Guard, who were put through the forest, or not the forest, the little, with their trousers right here, they're going to be positioned in this little lake. So unfortunate for them, but they are getting some pretty good shots off. Although the Schweitzen are going to be doing a lot of damage to me, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys back. Wait for my men to continue to rally and press forward. Chasseurs are exhausted, but I know I need them for this engagement if I don't want to lose too many guys. Pulling up right through here, and I'm going to shift these guys over. These guys are pretty much out of ammo. They only have a couple more volleys in them, so I was going to place them in the forest just to maximize their efficiency, especially against the Coldstream Guards. Those guys are very good, so I got to watch out for that. You can fast forward. I got some more shots against his general, and now he's presented this flank, very juicy target for me with my National Guard and now my own chasseurs, who can put on some shots. So that's going to force his guys to redeploy. That's going to make these guys fall back, which is going to allow me to push forward here. So always when you're playing these types of games with the lines of fire, make sure that every time your opponent moves, you're able to exploit that. So as he shifts, I know these guys are my own fusilier line are going to tie these forces down. I send my meat shield through the force to tank the first volley. Then these old guard and these old guard on the left are going to be able to do their volleys pretty much unmolested. Full on volley right there. And then my old guard are going to get an entire volley on the light foot on the hill. Those guys are going to go ahead and have to retreat soon. Coldstream are going to target my men. These old guard are going to decide to charge. They're out of ammo. They're going to take one for the team. And right here, continuous fire on these foot guards. He saved his best units for last, but it's not going to be enough for my men. And here the National Guard, they're tired. They're going to try and charge into the Schützen. Schützen are getting more and more veterancy. Or no, that's his general actually buffing them. 2 generals buffing them. So this is definitely going to be their last stand. But here we go. French reinforcements through here. It looks like his Galge I should bite my own words. They're still alive, and they're going to be going straight for the general. So a suiting way to use the French Guard units. Slicing the cavalry apart. So perfect. There we go. He's going to countercharge with his general. Break my National Guard. But it's all for naught. Pretty much I've charged through with his Coldstream Guard. My old guard, they're going to be killing these guys, and I'm going to tell the rest of my guys to move up. So I've broken them, so now it's just down to chasing away his general, and that's it. That's all they have left. So I'll go ahead and fast forward. I do want you guys to stick around, take a look at the stats. We'll see kind of how the unit kills balanced out, so hopefully that'll be an indication of sort of what you guys should be using for your units if you do still play Napoleon, which ones are effective. I definitely recommend if you're going to play as France, bring 2-3 Old Guard or Young Guard, and then a decent amount of National Guard, and also some Chasseurs Cheval. Once again, my kills over 2,000. Let's look at the unit stats. Chasseurs getting a lot of kills, Chasseurs Cheval getting a lot of kills. And these Fusiliers, man, definitely paying for themselves. These guys not so much. And then my National Guard just had a lot of them. And they didn't get too many kills. They got a decent amount, but they're mostly tanking fire, allowing my my old guard and these troops to really rack up the kills. So 245, 250, 177. So I would definitely recommend this troop composition. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you for the next battle.